Hola. It is Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. This is week 16. It is, what time is it? 5:56 p.m. I usually, in, to prepare for this, I always listen to the previous vlog from last week to kind of refresh my memory as to where we left off, so I don't repeat myself about stuff that I accomplished, I guess. And I'm usually pretty surprised because I'm like, oh wow, so all this stuff happened in this week and whatnot. So this is very late. I am in vacation mode. So I haven't wanted to do, like, I'm trying to not do anything. And the way it kind of works is if I do one thing, it kind of makes me want to do other things, and it kind of gets me in a state of action. And I'm really I'm talking about like a full actual vacation, just without, you know, letting, like, not smoking or drinking, you know what I mean? Like, that would be, you know, I mean, honestly, I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, part of me is like, bro, this is the part where you know what I mean, you do drink and you do smoke if in the future, right, when the situation is a little bit different. This will be the portion of my life that I do do partake in, like the smoking of a cigar, or taking shots and listening to music with the fam. But, and I'm still tempted to do it now, but I'm like, don't need to, and it's still so early on in this journey that I just want to really transport myself to a different kind of reality before I let myself ease up that much. So that being said, the flowers are kind of, it seems like they're ready for the next phase. Like, I think we are approaching a month, but they're kind of overgrown. Like, they came out already kind of overgrown. So some of them are like over it. It looks like they're ready for the big time. You know what I mean? They need to be transported. Some of them are, it's kind of, there's a range. But I'm not quite ready yet. And I think I'm still, like, I'm supposed to get 4 to 6 weeks. So I think I'm still inside that 4 week, like, we're not up to 4 weeks yet. So I kind of want to, I'm tending to them. I don't really have an idea yet of where I want to put them exactly and how much I want to invest in, the whole project. So, but they're doing good. It seems like some of them are mean, bro. Like, I don't know if this is there's no other explanation to me that makes any type of sense. They're like, some of them seem to be trying to block other ones. Like, they're all in a small, like, 3-inch biodegradable pot, right? And they're all next to each other, so their roots don't interact, right? But something about, like, their leaning is very quick, much quicker than I thought. Like, I thought that it was more like over a long period of time, you know, they kind of lean towards one side. It's like on the day, a daily basis, you can see the adjustment. And I just noticed that some of them, especially like the really bigger ones, it's like they're trying to block the sun from other ones. And and it makes sense, I suppose, like, because if you were in the wild and you had other plants around you, even if your roots aren't interacting yet, or at some point they would, So you have to start competing, and I think if you're like taller, one way to do that is to block their sunlight. And I'm like, damn, I did not foresee this happening. So a few of them, a couple of them, it's like, bro, you're messing yourself up doing that, because they're, you know, curling themselves in weird directions, and it's like, that's not going to be good long term for you, bud. You need to you need to aim high, go straight. So I actually had to like separate some of them. It was like there was two of them that were like problematic. I adjusted other ones. I adjusted one other one. But most of them are just, you know, going straight up or tilt a little bit to the side towards the sun. But some of them, one of them got like, came out of nowhere and like came up the rear and got big really fast, and then immediately started trying to like block the other ones, bro. And I can't even, I couldn't believe it, but I can't imagine that it's anything else. It has to be that they have a survival instinct that is like, okay, I have to stop this. I have to nip these other plants in the bud so that they're, you know, so that their roots don't compete with mine and basically eat them, essentially. That's like freaky weird to me. But we resolved it though. So I had a wonky my wonky ass sleep schedule continued. You know, I was streaming and sticking with the program. I you know, owing myself sets here and there. I ended up becoming so like focused. I gave myself grace towards the end of the week. Like I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on the task at hand here, and like just focus on what matters, and like the daily stuff, you know, we'll make it up to ourselves essentially. And then good old SC2, which I like to talk about. It's actually something that I really look forward to when I listen to these and when I'm like recording them. Is actually like the portion where I talk about what's currently going on in StarCraft, which is kind of something that I didn't anticipate being entertaining to me. But it's one of the major things that I like to do. Like today, for instance, it's kind of weird. It's like if you can get high enough, or basically suspend disbelief, you know, you can kind of. This is kind of how I thought about it, right? One of the reasons why I really liked it. It's like you can kind of get into the frame of mind where you are controlling, you know, like an alien, or you know, like a sci-fi war, right? Like an actual war. It's kind of like if you're playing like a first-person shooter or whatever. You can kind of like, if you immerse yourself, you can basically imagine you're actually in a war or whatever. It's kind of similar to what I'm talking about. You know, you're controlling an alien army in a far off place against someone else. It's and then you just it's just basically giving it reality, and believing it, right? That's part of the reason why I like the like casts of it, is because why does that person look interesting? Is because God, it's part of that. It's basically like a futuristic war, which is a sport at the same time. So it kind of really fits into the aesthetic of what I have going on, essentially. Duelist does that too. Just can do that too. It's just you know, like you allow yourself to immerse yourself in the realism of it, and then I don't know, it just becomes more interesting. But right about now, I've been hovering around 3,200, 3,300. I haven't done anything like super special. It's just kind of a result of actually improving, playing games, you know, which is the best feeling, because it's like at least I get to just, I don't have to. It's not like super stressful to where I have to hype myself up to play. I could just play and I'll still stay in that level. I don't have to do anything, you know, crazy or yeah, try super hard. I might feel like I'm repeating myself a lot here, but yeah, I think the big difference that's happening now, that's like the reason why I'm actually winning more games, is having a plan. So like, I started to basically, there's the initial phase of the game, I want to say the first 5 minutes or so, where I get this initial army, which is, it's like, okay, now the game begins essentially. Once I get to this portion, now I have to start making decisions based off of my scouting, and just how I'm feeling at the time. It's like, do I want to be more micro oriented and try to kill? Do I want, like, you know, do I want to just be defensive? Like, so based off of what I scout, I kind of make that call of like, okay, I'm gonna either like, oh, they don't have enough, I'm just gonna go kill them, or you know, it's just like a bunch of a tree of different decisions that I can make at that point. And I'm starting to get a feel for kind of how I want to do things. Like, one of the main things that I've been doing recently is getting phoenixes, which is getting phoenixes earlier, because they are much better than I thought. I seen some clips of Vikings fighting phoenixes, and I thought Vikings like actually destroy phoenixes, but it's like, oh no, phoenixes are like at least at the level. That's what I'll say. I think I don't want to say they're better, but they're like at the level of a Viking. So one of my complaints was like, okay, I make a fucking, you know, I make colossi, and they you know, the Terran just makes like 6 Vikings, which takes no time, and then they can F2A move into me. They just have to stem, and then it's over, because yeah. So like, I can actually make phoenixes, and it solves that problem. It's the same for me, basically. I can F2A move my army now with the phoenixes, and it does the same thing. And it's also great for defense. So I mentioned in the last one how they will drop you to death. They just, like, you know, drop all over the place. Phoenixes punish. So if they drop you in one place, right, they might get some damage off. But if you F2 your army over there, they can't just pick up and drop somewhere else, because your phoenixes are gonna kill these medevacs over time. So it shortens the ability for them to abuse that. And I have some practice with like having them on a separate hotkey and stuff, so that's been really nice. Also, like scouting, continuous scouting. If I can keep an eye on what's going on, it makes a huge difference. You know, the more information I have, like, actually, I was thinking this earlier, if there's, like, I feel like the observer living and the observer dying is a huge different, like, it's a, like, the percentage, my win rate goes up exponentially if I have my observer alive for most of the game, the first one. Once they kill it, and it's like you have to remake it, and you have to keep it out there. You have to keep it in the middle of the map somewhere, and just make sure that if they are doing something wonky, that you see it. And you just catch a lot of shit. So that's another thing that has been contributing. But yeah, it's all about like when you like getting my, you know, there's the 2 immortals and like 9 or so. It's actually, I think that's exactly right. Stalkers with 3 gates and a robo, and you have your observer out there, and then you're fully saturated. The decisions start needing to be made. Like, okay, am I going to expand? Am I going to take my gases? Am I going to make more gates? Am I defending right now? Am I being aggressive? Am I, you know, and then also what tech do I need to get, if any, right? Because usually what it seems like is I can get 2 tech buildings, and that's going to be most of the time a Robo Bay and a Twilight Council. But you know, I've been mixing in the Stargate like very, very recently, instead of the Robo Bay. And yeah, and then then shortly after that, I'm getting the what's the fucking name? The Forge, and then the gates. You know what I mean? But it just depends. Like with Zerg, I think it depends the most against Zerg, because I'm it's like against Zerg and Protoss. It makes a lot more sense, it seems, to get Archons. That seems to be like the best overall unit. Yeah, it's like the perfect counter against Zerg for sure. I kind of peeped that. That was like a major note. I was like, okay, because what happens is, so Colossus are good, but if they go mutas, then I'm fucked. That was the issue. So if they go mutas, I'm fucked. But if I have Archons, that's the answer to the mutas, and it's splash against against Zerglings, which another thing that I don't enjoy is mass Zerglings. So it's like Archon, it's like the CIA build. It's Charged Loud Immortal Archon is what you're supposed to do in that situation, which is my favorite thing to do. That's like the thing I'm the most familiar with, because Zerg is the most mapped out of all the matchups in both. If you look, I noticed that too. If you look at TVZ or PVZ, it is extremely mapped out. And I think that's because of the nature of the way Zerg works, which is that their plan. Well, they seem to benefit. Well, I don't know about the most, but they benefit a lot from pre-planning, knowing timings, and just knowledge about what they're gonna do beforehand. So they map stuff out, and that's kind of just how it works. So the Protoss and the Zerg, they know kind of what the Zerg is gonna try to do. Whereas with PVT, it's the Wild Wild West, because they can do a whole lot of different shit, and you know, you can try to defend, but it's very crazy. There's no rhyme or reason to how you know, things are gonna go. So at least that's how I feel right now. What else with that? I think that's about it. I think right now I'm struggling most. So yeah, in PVT, the scouting is super important. If they're gonna go like mass bio and shit, there's in PvP as well. I've just been going straight like gate expand, and I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do that. So I'm focusing on you know, once again, scouting, but then also it's basically like I have to wall off if they're gonna first of all, you have to get a battery, and then I have to wall off. I have to be ready to wall off if you know, just in case they have the adepts. PvP is such a. I hate Protoss players that play like that, bro. I really do. Then you got these Terran players that like want to fucking. It's wild. The cheeses that the Terrans and the Zergs try to do. It's like I don't mind them. They don't seem to be annoying. But then like the Protoss ones, when people try to like cannon rush me, or you know, like proxy fucking Stargate, there's just like, it's like, oh my god, bro, this is impossible. And it's like the problem. I think the problem is it's so normal for the Protoss to go to gas. You know, 2 gates, like that's what they do every game. So I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna be on the defensive, but what are they gonna throw at me? And I can't really scout fast enough in those scenarios. It's just like make batteries, and you know, and again, you don't want to kill yourself by making too much defense, but it's like really I just want to make the 1 battery in the front. But if they make oracles, it gets messy. There's like a lot of weird, you know, stuff, and I don't even want to I don't even want to think about it. I'm just like, and then for sure you're trying to make archons, and you know, upgrades really matter or whatever. So yeah, enough of that. I've been really like enjoying that on this like vacation. I haven't streamed, but I've been playing a lot. So so what happened during the week? Basically, I got my arbitration paperwork submitted on the 16th. There was no attempt to settle, so we essentially just let the organization know that we're ready to go, which we indeed did have to do. So it was a necessary step, and they are moving forward. And that action, me doing that, made them have to pay $1,400. I don't know if they've done it yet or not, but for one of the cases, they have an arbitrator picked out, and you know, I'm curious to see how things are going to move forward, because you know, there's not much going on there. And they're at this point, it's like, bro, if you pay, I think they've already paid like, I'm gonna say 500 or something, and then now they're about to pay 1,400. It's like, bro, you're really gonna pay more than I owe you to do this? This is crazy. Because I expected them to you know, obviously try to reduce the amount of cost that they would incur as a result, but part of me wonders if they're gonna try to like, because there was an identity theft claim made a while ago, and I'm wondering, it's like, is this the reason why they're having more balls? But it's probably not. It's just something that I wonder about. Anyway, I primarily, besides streaming and whatever and doing my sets, I was focused on Remedy and the funding. On Wednesday, I just kind of said, okay, I didn't feel like doing sessions. I didn't feel like working out, and I was just making sure that I was crossing my T's and dotting my I's, and all my ducks were in a row, you know, and I was just thinking about what I wanted to do and making sure everything was straight. But that did come with like not doing sessions. Now, all this stuff could be made up to myself at a later date. You know, like I could do a couple days here and there working out over vacation, or I could do, you know, them dispersed out, you know, 1 a day or something like that. And also the sessions, like we maintain a 2-hour average because we have a overage. We have, you know, a surplus built up. So I ended up like not doing that for like 5 days. There was no dice with the funding. There was no dice with Shorty. Before I got there, I was in the car with my mom, and she basically talked shit to me, and I already knew this was gonna happen. Like, it's hard for me to explain, but essentially, it is very clear to me. It was very clear that I was doing something important. I'll just put it like that. And I knew from past experiences or whatever that she was going to be as awkward. Like literally, I called it out. I've not been wrong about anything. It's just another, like, it's like, yep, this is exactly what you do. And I called it out, and you denied it. You deny it, deny it, deny it, deny it. But this is exactly what you do, which is essentially play defense. Like, just make sure, just work against me. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually what she does. So that day, it was like from Jump Street, I'm already like ready for her to try to make me uncomfortable as much as possible. You know, just to throw off my groove so that I do my, whatever I'm doing goes worse than it would if she didn't try to derail me. You know what I mean? And that's literally what happened. So, I was very well dressed. The outfit turned out so amazing. And you know, whatever she did, it wasn't that major, but it was like she did say stuff that may or may not have affected how I handled myself in the meeting. So it was like just annoying that she said anything. But yeah, I looked amazing. I took pictures. Outfit was great. I had my dress shoes. I spent like, I think it was like $12 at the thrift store to get a pair of shoes and sunglasses. And I had an idea in mind of what I wanted Shorty to wear, right? I was kind of thinking of it as a sign, right? She literally wore the opposite. What I was thinking was light colors and a skirt. Those were like the specifics that I was thinking. She wore a black shirt and jeans. It was the literal opposite. And she asked me a couple questions, and the way that she asked the questions and the way that like the conversation I had with my mom kind of affected how how I answered the questions. But basically, right after she asked me the last question, I said no to the question, right? And she said, okay, it's pending, you know, we'll talk later. She which to me was like, so I'm not going to find out, so that means I'm probably going to get denied then, or whatever. I still asked her if she wanted to go to lunch. She said she could not leave. I said, all right. I said, you know, I had to ask or whatever. And then she said, you know, thank you. And then, bye, you know, basically. So I dipset. I was upset, and ready to leave. And then, I don't know, I just kind of still had hope that maybe it'll go through and, I'll go back. Maybe, holy shit. Maybe, she intentionally did that so that I would come back at the end of her shift, you know what I mean? And we could do it that way. That's kind of what I had in my mind. But then I eventually, like, I was listening to music and whatnot. And eventually I called my aunt and stuff. I checked my email, and my email showed that I got declined at the very moment that I told her no in that last question. So bro, my anxiety just fucking, like, I was essentially fuming. I was tired because I stayed out there for like 4+ hours. My mom still continued to be like a weirdo. And, you know, I essentially like spent the whole drive home like just telling her about herself. Not like nothing crazy, just the real shit. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy. But I was like cranky, annoyed, disappointed, and ready to go to sleep. Essentially, bro, I was so down in the dumps. I can't even lie to you. Like, it was like really bad. You know what I mean? Like, essentially, I'm like, I just want to disappear, you know? And you know, I looked, the people that I listened to for tarot stuff, all of them said that day was like, those days were like that, which was that like the specifics, like, you know, someone trying to sabotage you from having this success, this major success, and you know, they can't be happy for you, and this is a pattern, and you know what I mean, and you know, it's just basically dead on, like, whatever. So man, I didn't even want to put out Remedy. I was so upset, dude, and my confidence was shot. I wanted to cry. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I didn't want to try anymore, essentially. But, you know, I refrained from doing anything stupid like drink or smoke or whatever. I just like, okay, I'm just going to, you know, feel this anxiety in my stomach, this nervousness, and this, like, you know, just really horrible feeling. And, I still managed to, like, you know, put Remedy up and, like, get the views up and, like, tell people. You know, I basically did exactly what I said I was going to do when it came to the Remedy release. So that was, like, the beginnings of me kind of feeling better. I had zero expectations at that point. I was like, man, I wouldn't be now. Why wouldn't this just flop? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't this just be embarrassing or whatever? And it wasn't. Like, there was a decent amount of, like, it was actually surprising. Like, some people that I thought for sure was going to support didn't, and then people I didn't expect were really quick too. And the results were, like, basically on the lower end of what my expectation was originally. So, but it was like, because of the way that I felt, it was like, oh, turn up. You know what I mean? Like, at least I got that. I had after feeling a little bit better about myself, I had a long, meaningful, if you want to call it that, I'm going to call it a meaningful conversation with this person, this woman. And, you know, it's just like, I'm basically just talking it through and making it clear that this is unacceptable and that this is what actually happened, and just, you know, making it undeniable. You know, I have to, like, corner her and, like, basically show her exactly, you know, and, like, essentially, like, threaten to leave because I know she just wants to be able to control me. So that means that too much success is a problem. So I'm like, well, you're gonna earn me leaving. I don't have to leave, but I don't want to be around you, essentially, because you're an enemy. But you know, it just kind of, like, I got like 17 likes or something like that on the Facebook post, and we're sitting at like 70 views with 6 or 7 subs and 6 or 7 likes. And I'm just glad that I did it. You feel me? So the vacation basically started on Wednesday. I don't know if I'm gonna make up days still or not. I would have to calculate it and see. I don't feel like I will. I think I'm just gonna extend the vacation. I even considered extending it to another week, but probably not. You know, probably not. For those first couple days, like Friday, well, actually, what's today? Wednesday. Today is the first day that I really feel good. Maybe yesterday. Mercury retrograde actually just ended, I believe, today. And you know, I haven't wanted to do sessions. I skipped 5 days, so I just haven't been feeling myself, basically. And it kind of, I knew it was gonna come back, and I kind of, you know, felt it kind of coming back, but I took my time, and now I had like a 6-hour day, and I'm 3 hours in. Today was really lit. Like, I've really just been, this is kind of the ideal situation where it's like, okay, I'm smoking some weed, and like I'm playing, but I'm not even streaming. I'm just playing, and then like if I get in a little bit in the mood or whatever, then I just go right for it. You know what I mean? And so not streaming allows for that. And then in between, I'm just like watching. I'm being careful not to just go crazy, but like I was watching a blackjack stream, and I was watching like this weird ASMR roleplay thing, like just watching it. And then it's like, okay, I'm just orchestrating. It's like I'm making my own program. So it's like, okay, now this music with, like background noises and shit like that, essentially. And, transitioning however I see fit. I finished with like watching blackjack shit and listening to Sade, for instance, and really craving a cigar and drinking. Because it's just that type of vibe. I actually found a packet of Swishers on a walk the other day. But those things are so ass, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I could smoke, like that doesn't seem half bad smoking a cigar, but like I said, I don't want to relax all the way like that. So, long story short, I'm glad I stuck to the plan. I'm not sure that things won't work out in my favor still. So like, my score is still high. I don't even think they did a hard pull. And, part of me is like, the fact that the chick wore the opposite, to me, is a sign that of what I'm doing working, but like there's not cooperation, essentially, from some parties. So yeah, basically, it's like, was I really that close to getting funding? Like that question, like if I answer that question, if I fix that question, do I get it? Because obviously they were asking for a reason, right? So it's like, maybe I can correct that on the application and then actually get some funding, over the phone or something. Or, I can go to, because, I still have like a month and a half of having the score. I can like go to other places, essentially, and maybe try to do some other soft pulls and see if I pre-qualify for something, So it's not like just over. And then honestly, the chick was like, so the video being up is great. There's still like potential for more people. Like I sent out a bunch of messages, and there's still like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, people, something like that. People that like really owe it to me to fucking do it. So it's like, I think I can get like 25 likes on that shit. And I'm like I'm gonna try not to post on Facebook. So it's like literally the last thing I post is just on there. I changed my profile picture to, me with that outfit on. It's like, I see the vision, man. I see what I did there. You know what I mean? And like when I was listening to the old vlog, I'm like, man, I have like, it's kind of in hindsight with the way that things went. It's like, man, I'm really glad that I had the confidence. I'm glad because like after it, I'm like, man, I was silly. You know what I mean? I was really silly for thinking I could do all that. But the fact that I really went for it, and the way that the whole thing, like with the astrological stuff and the and the collective energy and stuff, is like, okay, no, I'm not crazy, bro. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So and then there was this super wild moment. I listened to this song I made, Replacement, which I don't know if I mentioned it on here or not. I don't think I could have. Nah, I didn't. I made this song one day, a couple days before I released Remedy, and I was like, man, this song it's like, I wanted to kind of send it out as like a sample, or like a leak thing, or maybe like an introduction before the start of it. And it's kind of like more relevant to the situation at hand right now, but I was like, nah, it's too new. I don't know how I'll feel about it in a minute. Like, we already have the whole project pretty much done. I like the pace of it. I like how it, you know. So I didn't want to. I was like, I'll put this out after, or I'll send it loosely to people. But in the song, it's just like this thing I saw where it's like, man, imagine if I did blow up, and this in this climate in rap right now. Basically, I could essentially say, you know, like the line that I say is the game need change, I'm the fucking replacement. Because, you know, and it's kind of talking about how Drake is in the crossfires from the entire, you know, they're trying to, there's like a rap civil war going on right now. So I make a lot of references to, like I say, dot on your dog like a fucking Dalmatian. So that's like, you know, K dot, and then also like they're aiming at him. And the dog represents Drake, and then, you know, obviously their witty line. And then I say in there, what's crazy is I say, rob the jewelry store. I didn't know why I said it. It just sounded cool when I said it. So I said, rob the jewelry store and tell them make me a grill. And Kanye, after that, came out with a song where he referenced that same song that I'm referencing. Hold top, bottom, you know, hold top diamond in the bottom row gold. He says that, or something like that, in his diss track to Drake that came out days after I recorded that. So it was like, wow, no, I am in flow. That's for sure. You know what I mean? I'm absolutely in flow. That's for sure. I'm doing things with timeliness, and if I could keep that up, it will lead to something really special. So, yeah, I'm just glad that I was able to push through that moment. I understand that there is resistance from the, you know, just, you can call it evil, the enemy, the demons, you know, whatever. It's on a spiritual level. There's like a level of resistance. There's something trying to stop me. You know what I mean? So I have to be ready, and I was pretty ready. I think I would have probably stuck to the program a little bit better those last couple days. It almost feels like I fumbled it by, I don't know for sure, but, you know, it feels like, you know, why stop right at the finish line? You know what I'm saying? I was like, I already did all the work I need to do, blah 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 blah. But if I did it again, I wouldn't do that. So, yeah. My talks with ChatGPT have been fucking amazing. My mentality over the last couple days has been really great. I'm probably gonna do another one when I get back. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I really like the spot I'm in mentally. So there's an astrological thing that's gonna happen at the end of this week. Which is, it just kind of coincides with exactly what I want to do anyway. Like it says, you know, get everything done, which is like, okay, I'm going to be doing my refile. I'm starting school, and I'm going to like basically figure out my plan like in total, because I'm supposed to get something from Truist about why I got declined. And I intend on like calling them and having a conversation and trying to get something worked out over the phone. And, you know, maybe I do, maybe I don't know. But it's going to happen at the end of the vacation, at the beginning of next week. And at that same time, I'm going to be, you know, basically getting my ducks in a row and all that good jazz. So right now, this is happening mad late. So when I record the next one, if I do it on time, which I probably won't, I'll probably wait till like Sunday or something. Yeah, that sounds good. I'll just kind of give you an update on how the vacation went, where we are mentally. What else? Let me see. Yeah. It's hard to explain, but like the whole, I'm really happy I'm having this vacation. I'm really happy that, you know, like with my situation in total, I know that what happened was supposed to happen. And I kind of still feel like, okay, maybe it still works out for me, you know. I didn't do all of that stuff and think all that stuff for no reason. It wasn't like a trick, you know what I mean? It was like something that I needed to do. And you know, I'm just kind of hoping that I still win. Like literally, I'm like, that some of the, like these videos are crazy. How they're talking about like music and stuff like that. It's really, you know, kind of crazy how some of the stuff that's been said about, you know, how it just seems it's all so super on point to me. But let me see what else. Yeah, like it's like, bro, I just literally like continue to do what I'm doing, and it's like, okay, go viral, and we fix something on the application, and we're still going in the right direction. You know what I mean? It's not. It's like that was that was weird. I just got fucking spiritually fucking mollywopped, attacked like crazy on the most important day, and it's like I knew something like that was gonna happen. I just didn't know. I had no idea that it was gonna be so intense, and I had no idea how I guess I underestimated how prayed up I needed to be. You know what I mean? And how like charged up I needed to be able to withstand that. So it's like in the future I won't be. It's like I the emphasis on sessions are, you know, really good. It's like it's really important. It's like probably the most important thing. And then also like the streak that we're building right now, which is like I'm gonna say it's like it's unprecedented, and you know, sometimes there's a delay with this stuff, but whatever's popping off next is gonna be huge. It's going to be huge. I'm not trying to bother my little head about it. I'm really trying to take a break. You know what I'm saying? It's like I could easily drink and smoke, but you know, that would definitely do it. You know what I mean? I just fucking really chill, but I don't want to go that far. So we're just gonna, you know, play the game and hang out in the room, do our sessions, just kind of go with the flow. You know, we really just chilling. I was actually thinking about like smoking and drinking before I came out here, and I was like, I could do my vlog instead, you know, and then like kind of maybe do some YouTube Q stuff, and then go get ready for bed and go to sleep, and instead, you know. But yeah, it's a little bit of like I don't have anything for you in terms of plans. It's like we're gonna refile, start school, and try to still like we're still pushing the post, right, and we're still filling ourselves, do our sessions, right. We're coming up with more ideas, and also what's the other thing, and then, you know, try to see about our oh wow, damn, see about our funding. Yeah, I think that covers it, man. Really nothing else to cover at this point. It's been a pleasure. I really do not have anything. I'm trying to think about if I'm missing anything, and it's like, nah, bruh. It's vacation time. We're gonna be, it's like sessions are uber important. And whatever's coming next is gonna be insane. And I don't know what it is yet, but get ready. You feel me? Because we are in flow. We are doing what we're supposed to be doing for sure. So, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you listening to me. This is week 16. Deuces.